Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press evening podcast for September 27, 2025. Firstly, we looked at Intel's remarkable comeback in the tech industry, driven by strategic deals and investments. However, the involvement of government ownership and large corporations raises concerns about fair market practices and competition. Next, we examine the escalating tensions between Iran and the international community as UN sanctions are reimposed over its nuclear program. The economic impact on Iran is expected to be significant, with far-reaching implications for global security and stability. Lastly, we reported on the developing story in Moldova, where another pro-Russian party has been banned from participating in Sunday's parliamentary vote due to alleged Russian interference. The country's EU aspirations are at stake, and a coalition government could complicate the process. These stories highlight the complex and interconnected nature of global events, with significant implications for economies, politics, and security. We'll continue to monitor these developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. That's all for tonight's summary. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press. Until next time, good evening. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and Nanshul and know it's right now. I'm Barbara, your host for tonight's program. We have a jam-packed show for you with updates on several major stories from around the world. First up, we're following developments in the Middle East, where the United Arab Emirates has called for an end to the ongoing conflict in Gaza during a meeting between UAE Foreign Minister Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. This statement is significant as it comes amid strained relations between the UAE and Israel due to Israeli policies in the region. We're also keeping an eye on the situation between the U.S. and Colombia, where the U.S. has called for an end to diplomatic ties with Colombia following a statement from Colombian President Gustavo Petro that the U.S. was responsible for the crisis in Venezuela. The situation is complex, and we'll continue to bring you updates as more information becomes available. And in France, former President Nicolas Sarkozy has been handed a 5-year prison sentence for criminal conspiracy related to attempts to raise campaign funds from Libya. This development has sent shockwaves through the French political landscape and sparked intense debate about the role of judges in handling cases of political wrongdoing. We'll be discussing these stories and more in depth throughout the evening, so now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, in the world of finance, we're seeing a significant shift in interest rate expectations following recent economic data releases. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index rose 0.2% last month, aligning with expectations, and consumer spending increased by 0.5% in August. As a result, market predictions for a rate cut at the Fed's next meeting have decreased to an 80% chance of a 25 basis point cut. Secondly, the U.S. has announced a new round of tariffs on imported goods, including pharmaceuticals, heavy-duty trucks, and furniture, citing national security concerns. This move has sent shockwaves through global markets, with industry leaders warning of increased costs for consumers and potential harm to the global economy. Lastly, in related news, we're expecting key economic data releases later today, including the PCE data, which is expected to show a D.2% rise in the core price index. Additionally, Fed policymakers will be speaking publicly, providing further insight into the central bank's thinking on interest rates and the economy. That's all for now. We'll continue to monitor these developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. Thank you for tuning in to your evening podcast summary from the AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we explored the latest developments in space exploration, including a revolutionary new watch designed for astronauts working in microgravity environments and updates from private space companies pushing the boundaries of innovation. In another article, we delved into the world of technology, featuring Google's new Gemini model, a significant upgrade to its conversational AI. as well as luxury earbuds from Bang & Olufsen and innovative appliances from Balmuda. Lastly, we embarked on a journey of self-discovery and creativity, weaving together threads of astrology, personal growth, and human connection. We visited the ancient library of Alexandria, where poets, mathematicians, astronomers, and physicians engaged in interdisciplinary exchange, reminding us of the power of curiosity, compassion, and exploring unexpected connections. As we gaze up at the starry night sky, we're reminded that the universe is full of mysteries waiting to be unraveled. Join us next time on the AI Daily Press as we continue to explore the wonders of the cosmos and our place within it. Thank you for joining me this evening, and until next time, good night and clear skies. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Tonight, we're focusing on the exciting world of sports, with a spotlight on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. In volleyball, the #1 ranked Huskers are gearing up to face off against the Maryland Terrapins in what promises to be an electrifying match. With their strong record and dominant players like Harper Murray and Bergen Riley, the Huskers are looking formidable. You can catch this match live on Nebraska Public Media or stream it through B1G+. Shifting gears to football, the Cornhuskers are preparing for a pivotal matchup against the Michigan State Spartans. This encounter marks their 14th meeting, with Nebraska holding a slight edge in their all-time series. The game is scheduled to kick off at 3 p.m. CT on October 7th at Memorial Stadium, and fans can watch it live on FS1. We'll be keeping a close eye on these developments and bringing you all the latest news and analysis. Until next time, stay informed, and let's go, Huskers! That's all for tonight. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we explored the concept of social media and its impact on our lives, discussing how it can both unite and isolate us. We delved into the human element behind online interactions and the importance of empathy in our digital age. Next, we reported on a tragic incident in the English Channel, where migrants have been attempting to cross from France to the UK, resulting in loss of life and highlighting the urgent need for a comprehensive solution to address migration and asylum seeker issues. Our thoughts are with the families and loved ones of those affected. Lastly, we looked at two contrasting now for the latest in fashion and entertainment. Here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. Tonight, we've got a trio of stories that are sure to spark some interesting conversations. First up, we're talking about the latest trend in AI video art, and trust me, it's a doozy. Vibes, the new platform that's all the rage, is like an infinite slot machine, churning out eye candy with none of the substance or storytelling that our brains crave. I mean, what's the point of having all this fancy tech if we're just going to use it to create empty calories? Next, we're shifting gears and talking about something truly heartbreaking. PGA golfer Jake Knapp is grieving the loss of his girlfriend Makina White, who was taken from us far too soon. This young woman had a spark that lit up everyone around her, and our hearts go out to Jake as he navigates this incredibly difficult time. And finally, we're taking a look at the intersection of fashion and technology with Bethany Frankel's latest venture. But wait, no, we're not! We actually talked about Bethany last week. Tonight, we're focusing on the lovely Makina White and the impact she had on those around her. We also touched on the importance of being respectful when reporting on tragedy and taking a step back to appreciate the beauty in life. That's all for tonight, folks. Tune in tomorrow when we'll be diving into more fascinating stories and discussions. Until then, stay fabulous, stay kind, and remember to cherish every moment with those you love. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we looked at a groundbreaking initiative to address environmental degradation through sustainable practices and conservation efforts. The story of the curlews, with their breeding population plummeting by over 90% since the 1980s, serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of habitat destruction and the need for policy changes and sustainable farming practices. In another segment, we delved into the fascinating world of creatures that inhabit our planet. From the vibrant caterpillar of the emperor moth to the intriguing sea hare found on Western Australian beaches, each species has unique adaptations and survival strategies. We also examined the presence of horseflies in Ireland and witnessed a remarkable migration event involving glossy ibises seeking new feeding grounds due to severe water shortages. Lastly, we tackled a pressing issue that affects us all, the erosion of trust in science and the rise of anti-science sentiments. With climate change, pandemics, and environmental degradation posing significant threats to our world, it's essential to recognize the vital role science plays in understanding these complexities and finding solutions. We must strive for a future where science is valued, respected, and allowed to guide our decisions. These stories remind us of the intricate balance of nature and the importance of protecting our planet for future generations. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of nature and the human experience. Until next time, good night, and let's continue to explore, discover, and protect our incredible world. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.